Welcome back to Frederick Advice Givers. Eric Verdi sitting here with Greg Seymoure at the South Market Street Company, 105 South Market Street, here in the heart of downtown Frederick, episode 149 of Frederick Advice Givers. Greg's got a pretty interesting story. You're going to find out long entrepreneurial restaurant background history. I appreciate you joining us today, Greg. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so before we get into the heart of the interview, give our listeners your backstory, who you are, where you're from, what you enjoy doing.
Gotcha. Well, the quick version is from Ohio originally.
Okay.
Moved to Florida. And when I moved down to Florida, I joined McDonald's, our restaurants.
Okay.
So worked for McDonald's for about 8 years. During that time, also met my wife on a blind date and happily married for 32 years.
Oh, wow.
So worked for McDonald's for a while, transferred up with McDonald's to New York City. So one time or another, I ran a lot of the McDonald's restaurants in New York. One day, I happened to be in a McDonald's restaurant, and these two guys walked in, and they kind of didn't fit, and so I approached them and said, well, we're with this small company called Boston Chicken. And I said, well, I never heard of it. They said, well, we'd like to come to New York, and we're looking around. So then a couple weeks later, they contacted me because I introduced myself in the dining room. I just happened to be in that restaurant when they came in. And they said, well, we're coming to New York. We've not done New York before. Would you be interested in joining us? I said, wow, it's a little risky. We're running quite a few stores here, and you only have 4.
Right.
So I joined Boston Chicken when they had 4 stores. Ended up opening several hundred stores with them. I left as a regional vice president with them, had 800 stores at one time. So enjoyed that run a lot. So I was part of that plan to change it from Boston Chicken to Boston Market. Brought in some of the Carver sandwiches in Charlotte, North Carolina. So been in the restaurant business, for a long time. After traveling for a while with that company.
When was this? What time frame did you join Boston Chicken?
This was 91 to 97, I think. Right around there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that kind of ran its course. Then I joined Panera Bread, and when I joined Panera Bread, another startup company which was just starting to grow in New Jersey, joined them and started opening stores with them in New Jersey. I was a chief operating officer with a franchisee in New Jersey.
Okay.
And did that. So restaurants in my blood. The last 8.5 years, I ran all the Roy Rogers restaurants. We had 54 restaurants at that time. I ran those, and then decided, this is an opportunity for me to kind of find something that's a niche. This, South Market Sandwich Company. My wife and I talked about it. We said, what, this is what we want to do. And so, we decided to take that leap of being an entrepreneur, not just working with somebody else,
right,
and doing this now. So this is what we've been doing.
It's a huge leap.
It's a huge leap, yeah.
So 4 major, I guess you call them fast food.
Yeah.
4 major fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
So why do you guys choose to settle in Frederick?
I love Frederick. It's a great downtown.
Right.
It's a great county. I think they're pro-business. And then when we found this location, we're just like, this is a great location, great quality product. And we wanted something that we could be proud of.
Right.
And, Frederick County is a town that will help support you as an entrepreneur. And I think it just has a lot going for itself.
So you were saying that the location we're sitting in now at 105 South Market Street has been open since 2015. And you and your wife recently purchased it this April?
Yep, correct. Yeah, I've been here 3 months now.
Okay, so what overhaul, has there been any big changes since you?
Not big changes, just tweaking some of the menu items, just more documentation on the recipes because I think they're very replicatable, but they just have to be fantastic. And they've done a fantastic job with the recipes and the sandwiches. And we just started doing some marketing locally, some catering. We started to build the catering, continue the downtown delivery for free. So we have 2 bikes that we can run.
On the bikes I see out front. Yeah.
So we run those, downtown all day long. So we just enjoy it.
Awesome.
It's just fun to do.
Awesome. All right, so the next 2 questions are meant to humanize you.
Okay.
What's the last purchase that you splurged on, either for yourself or your family? And so you're married.
Yep.
Before you're there, you're married.
Yep.
Does your wife help you run the business?
She helps here. Yeah, she helps here. She's a author and a nurse. So,
Is she? Okay.
Yep. So
Kids? Do you have kids?
I have three, two boys and a girl. So
Ages?
oh gosh, now you're going to test me. It's going to be 28, 26, and 17.
Okay, and do any of them help you run
No,
or work in the summer?
No,
Okay,
no. They're doing their own thing. So the biggest purchase was this.
Okay.
This was our biggest purchase. So yeah, this was our last big one.
Okay. Now I know being an entrepreneur and business owner, you don't get much free time.
Right.
But what hobby or interest do you enjoy doing when you're not focusing on building your business?
Oddly enough, real estate. We
Okay.
like real estate. Help my son. He likes to buy old cars, fix them and flip them.
Okay.
So like doing that. Fishing, hiking. We love going down to the lake. We like Lake Anna. We'll go down there. And so just enjoying family time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Greg, when you wake up in the morning, what's that drive inside you? You worked in the corporate world. You help. It sounds like you help Boston Chicken turn into Boston Market. You help Panera grow from a smaller company to where it is now. What's that drive inside of you to, on April of 2018, I wanted to open my own business?
Ownership.
Okay.
I just thought, you know what, this can be mine, and I can build it, I can grow it, I can nurture it, take care of it, and be proud of it. And I just want to make sure we're serving a fantastic quality product and great, service that's attentive, and that gets me fired up in the morning. I love coming in here and just making sure we're set up for the day. I love getting to know customers. That's probably one of my favorite things. Is that a little old lady told me the other day, she goes, my dog ever runs away, I know where it's going to be. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, you're one of the only places to put out dog biscuits, not just water bowls.
Right.
And, we have 3 dogs that come by every day for our meat scraps. We got Cooper, and we got Charlie, and we got this other dog that they just come every day because they know we're cutting our meat fresh every day. So they come. So I just like that neighborhood quaintness, getting to know people. That gets me jazzed. So.
Yeah, I found, being in business for 15 years myself, you could go to any other deli in the area and they might all serve, within a range, similar products.
Right.
But it's that relationship. It's when you come in and you meet the owner, or you know the workers that have been here for 2 or 3 years, and they can call you by name.
Correct.
Yep. And maybe I like a little more mustard on my sandwich.
Right.
It's those relationships that keep the business sustainable.
Right. I totally agree.
So if I can give you one piece of advice, it sounds like you're doing everything correctly. Like, make those relationships, because Frederick, Frederick's a small town. Word will get out real quick that, hey, Greg and South Market Sandwich Company, they really take care of me, and they really have a great product.
Right. And that's the reputation we want to build on. Is having that relationship, but be known for our quality and our service.
Right.
That's important to us.
Exactly. Now, this will probably piggyback on our last answer, but what piece of advice could you give a fellow entrepreneur that's just starting out? And you've only done entrepreneurs for 4 or 5 months now, but you've seen small businesses working hand in hand with other CEOs and other owners growing businesses. Yeah. So what piece of advice could you give somebody just starting out?
Yeah, so before I answer that, so I've been an entrepreneur before.
Okay.
So when I was a young man, I couldn't tolerate the politics of McDonald's. So I was like, because they're like, if you do this, we'll promote you. If you do that, we'll promote you. And I was like, well, I did it, didn't get promoted. So I went and bought a couple of restaurants back then. So so I knew what I was getting into, and then during a little interim, I did consulting for franchisees, for small business owners. So I kind of knew what I was going to get into. So the biggest piece of advice I can give to people that want to be an entrepreneur, whether it's restaurants or not, because a lot of the skills are transferable.
Correct.
Is do homework, do a business plan, and then talk to other people that are in the business that you want to get into. Because if you find that right person, and I'm not saying everybody needs a mentor because they don't, but if you find that right person that can just give you those pieces of advice, those golden nuggets, you can stay away from as many landmines as possible.
Right.
That's going to be helpful, because the margins are tight when you're an entrepreneur starting out. And so you need to get as much help as you can, write a business plan, interview people, and do your homework.
That's one of the common threads throughout advice givers is finding somebody that's already kind of blazed those trails.
Right.
That you can go to and ask questions.
Absolutely.
All right, Greg, on the flip side, what's a piece of advice that maybe somebody's given you throughout the years that hasn't turned out like they said it might?
I'm a pretty humble person, but a lot of people will say, "Hey, you can do it," and you're confident. Well, don't just trust that.
Right.
You gotta stay humble, because if you think you know it all, you'll find out you don't. If you think you got it answered, you don't always have the answer. So, people will say, "Well, you know what? You've done so many things. You started with Boston Chicken. I think we had 12 stores or something when I started, or 4 stores. I'm sorry." And it's just like, you know how to grow these things. Well, I don't know all the answers, and
Right.
so people, you can't assume that things are always going to work out. You got to make sure that you're pretty pragmatic in your thinking and your actions.
Okay.
So,
Greg, in the last 3 years, what's one choice that you've made, maybe a pivotal moment that's led you to where you are today?
pivotal moments. I think I'm not a real spiritual person, but just trusting that in whoever you believe in. I believe in Jesus. That if you are a good person, you try to do the right thing, you have integrity, things will work out. And so I think there's a pivotal moment when we decided to buy this.
Right.
It was a pivotal moment a couple years ago when my mother passed away. I was like, wow, what a reflection. She had just turned 80, passed away the next day.
Oh
And
my
there
God.
was moments in the hospital room where you're just like, what's the value of life, and what's the value of time, and that's those moments. You got to make sure you are in that moment, and don't always think that, oh gosh, I got to answer that phone, I got to answer that text, because there's moments where you just got to appreciate where you are and what's happening at that time.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I think another thing is, I talked to my grandmother the other day, and she's 91, and
wow.
went back and, did you want to do anything different? Not that she's
Yeah.
close to passing away, but at 91, it's inevitable at some point. At some point.
Right.
And she lived her life, and she said, Eric, I don't really have any regrets. And that's a beautiful thing, because most
absolutely.
people, when they get near the end, or even now, I look back and I should have maybe done stuff different in my 20s or 30s. But you can't change that.
No.
You just have to keep going forward and
Right.
And living your life day by day with those best
Right.
choices each day.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. My father just turned 85.
Okay.
And I love his resiliency. So I take care of all his bills, right? I write his checks and pay all his bills. So he tells me, he goes, "Hey, you're going to see, I wrote a check the other day." And I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I bought something." I go, "Well, he's 85, blind one eye, mind you, and is an amputee in one leg." And he goes, "Yeah, so I bought something for myself." And I said, "Well, that's great." And he loves to go four-wheeling.
Okay.
And I said, "Please tell me you bought a helmet." And he goes, "Oh, no." He goes, "I bought my own Grizzly." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I bought my own four-wheeler quad."
Awesome.
And I go, "At 85? And he goes, "Yeah, your mother never would have let me."
Right.
So I just love he never gives up. Things happen to him, and he just keeps going. He enjoys life.
That's
and I
great.
hope I have that energy and that zeal at 85.
Exactly. All right, Greg, so you're episode 149.
Okay.
I've sat across the mic and interviewed 148 other business owners and entrepreneurs. I learned so much from each interview. I want to flip the script, have you ask me a question. We just recently met 10 minutes ago in the pre-interview.
Right.
So anything.
What advice would you give me or other entrepreneurs from the 149 people that you've interviewed?
One, take care of your customers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not. Yes, we all need to make a living in business.
Right.
But it's really about the relationship. If you take care of your customers,
Mm-hmm.
they end up taking care of you. You had asked what I've done prior or what I do, and I'm in real estate, and I've been fortunate enough to be doing it for 15 years now. Yeah, I don't know the exact percentage, but somewhere around 90% of my business is repeat and referral, because I've done it for so long. I take such good care of my clients that they gladly refer their friends, their family. They repeat. We don't do a bunch of outside marketing,
Right.
Because frankly we don't have to anymore. So I would say take care of your clients, take care of your customers, treat them like gold, because as we said earlier, Frederick's a small town.
Yeah.
You provide a great product, but not only that, you provide a great experience when they walk in.
Right. Right.
And you said you're getting into catering, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do quite a bit of catering.
Okay, so a couple of small businesses you could get, and you just grow from that catering, because when you cater something and they have 8 or 10 or 15 or 20 people that are trying out your food, man, that potato salad was really good, or that Cuban or that GG or that Havana or that Greek was that sandwich. I hadn't had anything like quite those spices or quite that taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Where who catered today? Oh, it's the South Market Sandwich Company.
Right.
So service, relationships, and quality of product. I think just getting the word out there, you'll go far. And I know there's a lot of events that happen in downtown Frederick. Coming up in August, it'll be a couple weeks after we air this episode, is the High Wheel Bike Race. Like 10,000 people come into downtown Frederick, maybe running a promotion for that, or doing some cross marketing for that, to help get people just a few more blocks down to come try out your sandwiches.
Right.
It's just getting ingrained in the community.
Right. Okay. Was there ever a moment that kind of made you like rock back in your chair and you're like, oh, didn't expect that, or like that shocking moment or aha moment from an interview?
From an interview, that's a good question. The overall shocking moment is the common themes. So no, there wasn't one shocking moment that I just got blown away.
Right.
But sitting across from 149 people now, it's the ones that are successful, okay? And we've gone back, episode 1 was over 3 years ago. There's some people that aren't in business anymore. Sure. And that happens, especially in the entrepreneurial world.
Right.
The ones that have had sustained success, in my opinion, are the ones that really do, they really love what they do. Right. It could be, a jewelry shop. It could be the knitting shop here in Frederick. You can just tell the passion, like their niche for what they do. Right. You might run a deli, but your passion for customer service and for providing a quality product is no different than the Knot House and what she provides. She's got a passion. Exactly. So the common theme is really it's not about the bottom line. Right. It's not about the bottom line for the successful business owners. Yeah. It's about their connection to their client and their passion.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, super. No,
that was good. I like the follow-up. That was good. That was good. You should be on the other side of this doing the interview. All right, so, Greg, what failure or loss, and we had talked about this might harken back to your mom, it might harken, whatever. What failure or loss has helped mold you to who you are?
What failure or loss? Oh, my goodness. On the professional side, I guess, there was a time where Boston Chicken was a sweetheart of Wall Street, and a lot of my friends had taken out loans and different things because we had all these stock options. And we were away from a lot of money. When I say a lot of money, we were away from a lot of money in a very short amount of time. And I didn't do it, and a lot of my friends did do it, and they lost money. They lost their homes, and so that really hurt when that didn't come through, because I was deferring time back then. Right. It's like, hey, you know what? My wife was so sweet to stay home with the kids. I was in Seattle, Washington. I'd be out in California traveling, and say, you know what? I'm deferring time because if I can retire at this age, then I'll have time for the kids. Right. Well, that never happened. And so, that failure really changed how I looked at, how I try to have a work-life balance. I love work, but I love my family. And so that changed me from going from 90 hours a week to saying, okay, 60 is good, right? And things like that. So that failure professionally was that. And just, I failed a lot of times. And, I think you just got to learn from those, because people want people that are authentic. And, I've had a lot of leadership positions. I've had a lot of people reporting to me. And the one thing that I can tell you is I'll admit my mistakes and say, hey, you know what? I learned from that. I'm no different than you just because I have whatever it is, several hundred people under me. I just have more responsibility. No different than you. Right. It's taking that humblism and just saying, you know what? You're a real person, because that relatability is important. You got to have credibility as a leader. And so I've learned those failures along the way, because that's not how I started out. At McDonald's, I was cocky, and I had to learn that along the way.
All right, so before we finish up here, so tell us your hours,
sure.
What makes you different.
Okay. So we're open from 8 a.m. till 4, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're open 8 a.m. till 7.
Okay.
What makes us different is our sauces are homemade. Our sandwiches are really handcrafted. So we take the time to take care of our customers.
Right.
We take the time to build sandwiches in the right way.
Okay.
And the uniqueness of our sandwiches, the uniqueness of our employees, I think sets us apart. And we'll go out of our way to help people. I mean, we had a lady call us and just said, hey, the whole bridal party wants to eat right before the wedding. We're like, okay, can you deliver this to the Searsville Mansion? We're like, when? She goes, in an hour. I go, okay. And I could feel her anxiety over the phone.
Right.
But we did it. And so we just catered for the Maryland School to Death. 100 sandwiches. We love doing those things. We love that community involvement.
Right.
And just getting to know those people. So that's one aspect that I'm just happy that we did.
So give me your top 2 or 3 sandwiches in here.
It depends on your mood. If you're in a cold sandwich mood, our Bubba's the #1. So it's our version of Italian sub.
Okay.
Our Mr. Wilson's are our version of a club sandwich with roast turkey, black forest ham, bacon, Swiss cheese, and cheddar cheese, and has a great pesto aioli sauce.
Okay.
Our Cuban sandwich, our Havana, is better than you can find in Miami or anywhere. So I think that's a braggable sandwich.
Okay. And then you said you had sides too, right?
We have fantastic, craveable sides. Our potato salad is great. We have people come in all the time. Can I just get a bowl of your potato salad?
Okay.
So our potato salad's great. Our macaroni salad's homemade. We do those in-house. So we just have unique products, unique breads. We get bread delivered 6 days a week.
Okay.
So we just, take pride in what we do.
Awesome. So, where do you see yourself in 3 years and then in 10 years?
So my hopes is that I'll make this a replicatable restaurant. And
Imagine that coming from your.
Yeah, no. So I hope to expand and grow this. I want to grow it in the right markets, the Westminsters, the Annapolises, the different markets, and find another place where I can put another one of these.
Mm-hmm.
With a partner, with investors, something to help this grow, because I think it's that good. It's different. There's a lot of competition out there, and you know what? I think our uniqueness separates us. Our quality separates us. And so I want to make this replicatable. So in 3 years, gosh, I hope to have maybe 3 of these somewhere else, maybe 4. I'm not trying to, run. I want to grow aggressive but controlled. So, 5 years, don't know. Don't know what happened in 5 years.
So not necessarily going out the franchise model.
Maybe.
So I had Danny Farrar with Soldier Fit on here, and he said, that's something about Maryland and Virginia, how they have to have the franchise laws.
Well, yeah, you have to go through the
and you can't collect any money until they actually open, even though the corporate. I didn't get into the exact specifics.
Well, you can't collect a royalty. You get a franchise fee, but not a royalty, because I've helped do that before.
Okay. so you do know that. So yeah, Danny said that's probably one of the hardest things he's ever done is trying to roll out the franchise model from a single facility.
Because you have to have all the systems, all the procedures, all the policies. So you have to have an operations policy, you have to have a recipe manual, you have to have, prove all through your P&Ls how things work. Right. So there's a lot of hoops you got to go through to get it to be replicatable to franchise, and it's not cheap.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, so let's finish up here. So tell us where you're located, where you are on social media, how our listeners would find you, phone number, all that kind of fun stuff. Can you order online or not?
Oh, yeah, we have probably...
You can.
25% of our customers right now order online.
Okay.
No kidding. Yeah.
Pick up here? Yep. And then you've got the bikes that deliver.
Yep. So you can order online. You can call us. We have a ton of people that call us every day. And then you can just walk in.
Okay.
So, we deliver on bike downtown Frederick for free.
Okay.
Not a big deal. You can find us on Facebook, South Market Sandwich Company on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
Okay.
We have a website, South Market Sandwich Company. And we're at 105 South Market Street. So I hope you try us. I mean, our Google ratings are great. Our Yelp ratings are, I think I'm at 4.9 out of a 5. TripAdvisor's really good ratings. I have people all the time say, I ask them, how'd you find us? TripAdvisor.
Really?
And so, that has a great reputation that we want to keep building.
Awesome. Greg, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Listeners, viewers, episode 149 of Frederick Advice Givers. Greg Seymoure, South Market Sandwich Company
Yep.
here at 105
South Market
South
Street.
Market Street, just about a block and a quarter from the creek.
That's right.
Right?
Correct. Yep.
So check them out. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we are out.